Hello everybody, as I have promised, I'm making the video of how I have done my KWA T10 HPA. It's basically guide step by step how you guys should follow my steps. There's not many videos on YouTube how to do this, because I know this gun actually takes me quite a long time to make it perfect and work as I want and basically how you want to as running. So basically, let me make this simple. Obviously I'm gonna speed up the video, so when I'm gonna strip the gun, when I'm gonna open the gearbox, because everything is ready, so you guys gonna see and I'm gonna explain you where you should do and what you should do. Basically you can do HPA in any gun basically you want, but this typical KWA, they have the gearboxes. It's not V2, it's V2.5, and as long as I know, T10 have 2.5, RM4 the longer version, VRM4 whatever they call it, is basically T10 but it's longer barrel. It has, especially with the Rico one, it has also V.2 gearbox. T6 also have 2.5 gearbox. So as long as any KW you want to make HP in any KWA, as long as it's 2.5 gearbox, this video is gonna be for you to make sure everything working. So obviously I'm gonna speed up another video when I'm stripping the gun and explain you step by step so you guys can understand. So I'm gonna invite you now for my intro and we're gonna start stripping the gun.
Little do you know, little do you know, I'm still haunted by the memories. Little do you know, I'm trying to pick myself up piece by piece.
Try not to.
Little do you know,
So basically when you open the first time gearbox, it's obviously now is a HPA, but when you open the gearbox, obviously it's gonna be lots of parts flying about, and basically you want to remove everything. So when you look on your gearbox gonna look like that. So first thing, what's happening, my engine, it's a pulsar, which is from the gate pulsar, and unfortunately some of the gate pulsar before, now my nozzle is gold, but before first batch I think they done purple nozzles and they were much more shorter than actually gold. Gold is still shorter for KWA, but I'm gonna try to explain you and tell you what's need to be done and how. So basically when you have your, I don't know if I actually can fit it how it was, but I believe, obviously I'm gonna help myself with some pictures from obviously when I was stripping it before I done any obviously sanding stuff into the gearbox. So you're gonna guys have see now a couple of pictures how this was looking and what I mean to sand it down. So basically when your nozzle, let me make you easy. So when you fit your engine, obviously you fit on that side, not this side, but I just gonna, because I don't want to remove my trigger and my board, obviously I just want to keep it this down there. So when your engine sits, it sits without any modification. It sits probably somewhere like here. So let me see. So basically I try to help myself with screwdriver. So basically you can see that gap here. Before there was like metal, obviously still gearbox shell, some metal, obviously I don't know. Basically what you need to do, you need to sand this down on the gearbox. I'm just gonna take the engine now so you can guys see how my gearbox looks like now. Try to make a focus. There you go. Especially the front You see how much it sanded down, because actually gate is a quite thick engine, and obviously you need to sand this a little bit down so the engine can fit. Also you need to sand the front so the engine can go more, like I said, because it sits, let's say, in a, without modification it sits, well, this is just roughly, so it sits something like that. There is a gap, so it's basically your nozzle when it's fully extended, it's, let's say, something like that. It's not exactly, but it's almost. So you need to sand this front gearbox so your engine can go much more forward, like that. Because what's happening in KWA is when you don't sand anything like this, basically, let me try to help myself with, I don't know if I'm gonna find any random hop unit laying around. Where can I have the hop unit? So I haven't prepared myself for actually this. Oh yeah, there you go. That's just a random hop unit. Don't worry guys, not using this. This is just when I was stripping. So basically, what's happening, when you're, let's say this is sitting, I'm gonna move this engine a little bit backwards where actually it sits without modification. So when you looking through the feed tube of the where the BBs comes, obviously that's how your engine, well, your hop unit comes onto the engine. So it looks like this. This is gonna be, you guys gonna have to work out yourself how much, because I cannot tell you exactly how much you need to sand the front, from the inside, that's what I mean, so the engine can go more forward. So basically when you look through this feed tube, you guys probably not gonna be able to do it, but when you look at, when your inner barrel, your backing is, everything is assembled into hop unit, you guys can see, when you flashlight through there, you guys can see your rubber lip. So luckily we have some rubber here as well, but I'm not gonna assemble. So basically your rubber is gonna be sits, probably you're gonna just guys see probably just a tiny bit of that lip in when you look through this. And what's happening when that engine sits, when it's, obviously this is, because this is working as an open bolt. So open bolt, it's when the engine is ready to shoot, it sits backwards. When you press the trigger, your nozzle moves forward and it stays, and then releasing the air, pushing BB through, like I said in my previous video, and then obviously pushing BB through. So when it's fully extended without any modification in the gearbox, your nozzle, it's probably like 2-3 millimeters. Well, this try to focus. It's basically about 2-3 millimeters away from the backing lip. So basically you have no proper air seal. So normally in KWA, that's what I had to do it. Normally in HPA you're using about between 80 to 100 psi for AEG, for 360 fps, 350 fps on 0.2 bb's, but it's up to, depends what bb's you're using. Obviously you can check your chart and depends what bb you use, blah blah blah, whatever, but this is what normally what's happened in any other HPA engine. Just because this engine sits more backwards, you don't have a proper air seal. And I used to run the engine, because when I done first time I didn't notice this. I thought that's just basically drop in kit and you just ready to go. So I had to use my PSI on my regulator. It was about, let's say, I'm not gonna lie, but it was about 140 PSI. This is what the Pulsar, if you check on the Pulsar website, this is the maximum PSI you can use it, apparently. But this is what I had to use 140 to achieve 360 fps on 0.2 bb. I'm just taking this as an example because I'm not using 20s at all, but I'm just telling you so guys you understand. So your engine your nozzle didn't have is basically 2 millimeter space between actually making the air seal. So basically most air going through the inner barrel, but rest is basically you losing, it's going on the sides through your hop unit and everywhere. So basically what you need to do, you have to sand the front, you have to sand this front so engine, I hope you guys understand what I mean. You have to sand this front so the engine can go more forward. Don't worry if you sand, this is what I done, I sand a little bit too much, but remember when engine sits like now, before you close the gearbox shell, you can always adjust your, what you do before you closing, put your obviously your hop unit onto the gearbox, look through feed tube and see how much nozzle is going into the rubber, because you don't want to go your nozzle too more forward, or you don't want to have your nozzle too much backwards. Basically that's why you're making the modification. So also if you're looking on the gearbox this side, this part here, so this part here, this one, it's, let's say, is a 1 centimeter wide. It was, not just gonna lie, maybe just was something was thick like this. So you basically also you have to sand this down up to, doesn't matter how much you sand in the front. You're gonna understand when you're gonna fit the engine, because the engine is it has basically there is a like a, I don't have any gearbox, but there's like a metal bulb, like a metal, basically it look like BB sitting there, but it's metal. So that's where your this metal BB going into that. So you also have to sand this down completely. That's little bulb, whatever is, it looks like BB, let's say. So you need to sand this metal BB as well, so the engine, because normally if you sit, that ball holding the engine into the position all the time, and you're not gonna be moved forward. If you're gonna move forward, you can see the engine, it's gonna catch with his collar, it's gonna catch in this, and you're not gonna be able to move the engine forward. So you have to sand here as much as you want, doesn't matter how much you go, just at least, I think there's a 2 or 3 millimeters you need to sand this. You're gonna see, I'm gonna send it, there is a picture, you're gonna see it, how much you need to sand it here. You have to cut this, basically cut it off. You have to sand this, well, this bit from this part to going to inside, so your engines can move forward. But you will understand if you want to try fit it. So you have to sand this here part, a little bit here probably. You have to sand the front. I'm not talking about this, is just because you have to sand up BB, metal BB, what is there. You have to sand everything here so your engine can go more forward. Then when you sand it, make sure there's no metal debris inside. Clean your gearbox. You can put it under, obviously under the water, doesn't matter, but make sure it's dry as well. Don't be stupid, don't put engine into wet gearbox. Make sure everything is clean of debris, obviously dry, then you fit your engine. After that, what you want to do, you're gonna put your hop unit, obviously I'm just doing this, yeah, shoot that, and then look where your engine is supposed to sit, how much forward, how much backwards. Also, you can see, you can notice I put a tape on there onto my engine. It's just because when you sand this off, there's no much place to hold the engine in position. So when you sand it, when you're not gonna put any tape, your engine, every time you pull, it's gonna move like that. So I done the tape. You can use any tape as long as it's thick. I use it basically material tape, so my engine sits exactly where I want. And obviously when I put another gearbox check, it's making more tighter. Also, there's what I have done. So if you put this tape, you assemble all gearbox and everything, and you're gonna notice, oh, your engine is still a little bit more backward, but you still have a room to move your engine forward, and you don't want to strip again everything in the gearbox. Do what you can do. remove those top screws into the imagine this is in your weapon, so you can't access the bottom of the gearbox, you can't access any of those screws on your bottom. What you can do, remove those screws, take the flat head, put obviously where the gearbox shells is a joint, put a little bit screwdriver, so obviously the gearbox a little bit split open, but do not force too much, you don't want to break it. Obviously if you break it doesn't matter, because you cannot anymore use it as an AEG. So when you put your screwdriver, then you can push with your finger, or you can grab the engine and you can move your engine a little bit backwards or a little bit forward, but make sure you sand enough the front, the edge. You make sure you sand this metal BB what is there, the bulb or whatever is there, make sure you sand this. This is in Pulsar Gate HPA engines. This is how much modification you need to do. There's a video where the guy called JJ Moore, obviously I'm gonna add him into my description, where he fits Polar Star F2, but basically it's also almost the same thing you need to do. Apart, you're gonna have to, on this side of the gearbox, you're gonna have to sand this part here. So it's quite a lot of obviously sanding into the gearbox. Obviously you can sand both sides, so that because the engine on the gate is quite shorter, but F2 engine is much more longer, and basically it's not much space for the basically what you call them, the fittings for the IGL. It's basically sits here, and this metal, it's closing it on the way where the IGL is, and you're gonna have to struggle to close it. So basically you have to sand both sides of the gearbox if you installing F2, because I had F2 in here as well, that's why this modification was done. So you have to sand, I don't know if you're gonna see like this, so you have to sand a little bit, where is it, here, you have to sand a little bit here. Also from this side where your trigger board and everything comes, you have to sand this. So this, your IGL gonna be probably coming up to here somewhere. Also with gate, with trigger board, you do not have to do any modification. The gate trigger board, it's going basically fit with no any problem, so you just basically drop-in kit, basically that's what it is. With F2 obviously trigger board, you have to modify some, when you have the, I don't know, let's say some examples. This is just a paper. So basically your trigger board in F2, it's much more square, and you have to basically, you're gonna notice on F2 there is gonna be lot of metal wiring, like, you know, lots of things you're not gonna understand what it is, but most likely all around it, it's plastic. So when you're gonna take the FC, well, trigger board, you're gonna see how much you can go, how much you can trim the plastic before you hit any metal, obviously what inside wiring or soldering or whatever is there. So you're gonna, I think you have to, if I remember, so if you look at the gearbox like that, you have to trim that corner here where that screw, well, this gearbox screw is, because that corner is straight. Here in the gate is curved, so you have to trim that, and something else you have to trim it. But like I said, I don't remember 100% how it was in F2, what you need to do, and how much was obviously was trimming, but obviously you can find out yourself. It's really simple, don't worry, you cannot screw this up. You just take your time, sand a little bit, see if it fits. Okay, no fit, sand again just a little bit. Don't go all the way to get all the way down, because obviously you try to sand as less as possible. So you sand, fit, no fit, sand, you try fit, no fit, sand again, you fits, and that's where you leave it. You don't sand anymore, and then you try see other corners. But obviously that's everything what I can show you guys with installing gate into HPA. Sorry, installing gate into KWA. So that's how I done it, how I run it. I also gonna show you something and explain you a few bits regarding some magazines and everything. So now I'm gonna put this gun together. I'm gonna put some pictures how everything looks now and how it was looking before, so you guys know how much and what need to be sanded, so you guys will understand what I try to tell you guys. So now again I'm gonna speed up the video to put everything inside again, and then I'm gonna make a couple test shots so you guys see how much pressure, how much obviously velocity, because I was set up everything, I had set up everything perfect. Now I need to probably work out where my engine needs to sit and how. So just bear with me, I'm speeding up the video and making the gearbox now working.
That's what she thinks, always comes around what we thinks. We fuck off and on, only ever really fuck off and on. Never see her these days cause I'm off and gone. When I'm home off tour, never stop for long. Back this week from across the pond, notice I was close to the block she's on. Elevated to the floor, loft was on. Drinking whiskey, she likes vodka strong. But after we fuck, it's over. Walked out the door, that's closure. No, I can't stay here and hold her. Tomorrow I'll act like I don't know her. Would never be here sober. Can't tell which one is colder. My clothing's on, we both did wrong. I gotta go, that's what I told her, yeah. She said she can't feel her face. Yeah, right now I can't feel my heart. For your feelings, there's no place. Yeah, but you knew that from the start. You and I were made of glass, we'd never last. You and I were made of glass, we'd never last. Quick to die, we moved fast and then we crashed. You and I were made of glass, we'd never last. She's fine as fuck and she knows it. Sexy body, she shows it. Loves the drama, she chose it. She draws a line and she blows it.
Quick note, do not forget to put your obviously top trigger board. I need to strip again.
A line and she blows it. The most fun, I suppose it. Pops a bottle, won't close it. Feels a fit, then she throws it. She pops a bar, now she's dozing. She's hot and cold, hot and cold. Homie, I don't know, she's hot and cold. Truly the bullshit has gotten old. Superficial with a rotten soul. Fucking off and on, always stop and go. Probably got someone choose not to know. Head to her place, then we lock the door. Making bad calls when I'm off the blow. Cause she's a bitch, I'm selfish. Want every girl, can't help it. And it's tough for me to shelf it. It's you I see myself with. Right now I know you felt it. I touched it and she melted. We shouldn't chill but we do it still. Gotta play the hand if you dealt it, yeah. She said she can't feel her face. Yeah, right now I can't feel my heart. For your feelings there's no place. Yeah, but you knew that from the start. You and I were made of glass, we'd never last. You and I were made of glass, we'd never last. Quick to die, we moved fast and then we crashed. You and I were made of glass. Missing everything you say.
Also, what is really good to check now, basically alignment. What I like to do, and it's probably much more, it's not really easy, but obviously I find out this is obviously safe when you do this with your HPA, because you don't have the electric power. Also, what I like to do is checking my alignment, my hop unit with, well, my nozzle with my hop unit, how good and aligned everything is. So what I do, obviously it's quick away, but obviously not. It's safe because you don't put any air and you always unplug your battery. So basically it's impossible that gun you're gonna shoot. What I do, I always put my inner barrel and my upper receiver, everything I assemble together. Let's, what's there? I assemble everything together. Now I'm looking through my, obviously my inner barrel is almost ends here, but I removed the, I'm gonna remove the silencer, and I'm gonna see how much. So use the flashlight to light here into your hop unit, so you're gonna see how your nozzle sits, and then from there you can work out if your engine, because I just put one pin in, so now you can work out if your engine need to go more higher or lower. If you need to go lower, then obviously this combination which basically pin going first, and there's also combination how you can do with your hand grip, because obviously if you need your nozzle need to go higher, then you screw first the hand grip, because they pulling the obviously gearbox up. So that's what I do at the same time. So my engine need to go a little bit to the right, and I think it's up, is it? Yeah, I can go a little bit up. So first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna remove that pin here, and I'm gonna screw hand grip first.
I was lost and beat up, turned out, burned up. You found me, they were heartless, didn't know me, but you were drawn in. I was lost and beat up, I was warm flesh on Caesar. You found me in your guess, oh I found me, oh Jesus. I was too wild, I was too wild, I was too wild, I was too wild.
I'm quite happy with this. I'm gonna put the picture of how I did my alignment, how it sits at the moment, but I'm obviously a little bit happy with it. So a little bit, I'm happy with it, not a little bit. Now you just need to...
If I could be your Joseph, only tell you real shit. That's the T, no sip. Don't trip, that pussy slippery, know it. We ain't tripping on shit, we just sipping on this. Just forget the whole shit. We could laugh about nothing, I impregnate your mind. Let's have a baby without fucking, yo. I know it's corny, bitches, you wish you could unfollow.
So okay, now obviously I have everything assembled together, and I try to make you guys some test shots. And what beats we're gonna use? I don't know. Should I use 20s? Yeah. Well, in HPA it doesn't matter for. Well, you always make sure you chrono your replica on the BBs you're using. So normally I'm using 32s, but I have just that much BBs at the moment, so keep using good BBs as well. But for test, just buy a pack of 20, any cheap, because obviously you waste them anyway. And yeah, so let's see. Actually, I'm gonna play with myself. I'm gonna use stock KWA mag as well. Unfortunately, the gate does not like the EPM mags. It makes the, we call mid-cap syndrome, which basically doesn't fit properly. Okay, we'll make some 20s. Let's see, where's my hose? Break the bottle. I know it's a quite big video, but obviously I'm making it for you guys. So we got pressure set on. I don't know if you guys can see. It's focus here. About 80. yeah, something about 80, but you guys gonna see what I meant where is about 80. So battery plugged in, I hit this to this, so we got safe, semi and semi again, because that's how I have set up, and safe. So now let's take my chrono. Obviously I don't have the proper big chrono, but obviously I have the little one, should read it. I'll take some, oh my god, after my last chrono test I made some bad decision on my wall, so I'll try use it now. Well, I did use the box anyway, but obviously I didn't know I was gonna go stuff into the wall, so I'm gonna put myself safe, and you guys should be safe as always when you're shooting around the room or anywhere. Always wear some glasses, because my BBs were flying last time when I was checking it around my room, so I know it's not really safe to do so. Okay, let's see, 20s, set 20s. Okay, let's go a little bit more with pressure. That's almost 80. So let's do exactly 80. I hope it's gonna shoot in. So okay, I think it's quite steady. So we got one joule point 0939. Anyway, I can guys no, I'm not gonna show you the joules, so we're gonna set that on the joules. So we got another shot, 1.28, one, I don't know if you guys gonna focus on that, 142, 1.05, focus, oh my days, yeah, 105, 1039. So obviously this is how I had set up. Obviously, let's see, it's quite good. Let's see what full auto I can have it. So let's go. Only have a semi just because my friend was playing this as a DMR, so I had to give him as a semi. So select, there you go, semi, auto, let's save semi auto, and we have setting also RPM, let's do 35. So we got semi. Okay, quite happy with this. Okay, so yeah, as you guys see, obviously, oh my chrono shot memory, it's gone. Okay, let's do it again. So let's see on the FPS how this gonna perform. How many BBs I have? So yeah, done a few shots, and obviously I think the numbers obviously quite consistent. 335.9. Let's go up so you guys see. So it's 33, 338, 335, 337, 335. So I think obviously first two shots were exactly perfect, and another two shots, so you got 332, 332, 336.1, something that's quite consistent as for the FPS. So yeah, that's how I done my HPA KWA. If you follow my steps, if you follow what I just showed you and explained it to you, and if you have any questions, feel free to DM me on here or on my Instagram. Is gonna pop in on the screen right now. Not really often on Instagram, and also I'm gonna drop my Discord so you can find me, and obviously hope you can. There's some BBs left in a chamber, so always make sure when you unplug your battery, magazine, get a couple shots steady. Obviously gun is ready to skirmish, basically, let's say. So yeah, like I say, I'm gonna drop my Instagram, my Discord, where you can guys find me and obviously contact me, and I can help you out with if you have any problems with your KWA, HPA, or any HPA, because I done few builds for myself, for my friends, and obviously everybody are happy, because not saying I'm a good tech, but I understand some bits, and through the community everybody just shares some knowledge and just making your builds work perfectly. So if you enjoy and I did help you, please leave a like, share, subscribe, do whatever. I mean, I really appreciate everything. And well, if you have any thoughts for the next my video, just drop in the comment section. Am I gonna do it? So I'm gonna be out now, and thank you for watching, and peace out.